giant that we can now stand on his shoulders and dream of a country where, people can actually believe in their dreams. People can actually see their dreams manifesting. People can feel free and live with dignity. A country where systems actually work, where the rule of law is respected, where systems do work, like I said. We're talking about the life of Raila Odinga. So we're not only here to mourn, but to celebrate a life that shaped a nation. Raila Odinga's life. A voice of courage, a dreamer of freedom. And I'm very happy to have a brother of mine called Pigbin Odimwengu. He's a Pan-African and a Kenyan politician. He's a young man. He's had his own stab on the presidency. You're going to have it again this time around.
Yeah.
God willing, you'll make it to the house on the hill. And by the way, Pigeon, even when I have this conversation with you right here, when we reminisce about the life that Raila led and how, he's inspired some of us to actually dream big, right, to add value to this country. When I look at your life, bro, I'm just like, really, you need to, you're a person who, when I look at your story, from somebody who used to be a cobbler, somebody who used to shave heads and had a stab on the presidency, I'm like, you're the typical person that Raila was talking about, who was trying to inspire to be at your best version. What's going on through your mind right now, when we're talking about the death of Raila Odinga?
I'm happy that I attempted to be a president in an election he wanted to be a president. So I attempted to do what he wanted to do when he's still alive. Many people wanted him to leave the space before now they prepare to be presidents. But I wanted to be a president and be a candidate on the ballot alongside him. I personally attempted to be a chairperson when Raila wanted to be.
I remember. How could I forget that?
So I attempted to do what Raila wanted to do when he was around. I had the courage to do it. And to me, the only inspiration is, if that 80-year-old man want to do it, what stopped me, young man, from doing it? If that 80-year-old man want to make change for Africa, what stopped me, the young man with the energy, ideas, and everything else it takes to make it better? If that old man still want to wake up to be a president of this country, what stopped me as a young man to do it? So to me, Raila's resilience of never giving up made me never to see my current situation as a stamping block to my dream. And my dream is to make a better Kenya as his dream. My dream is to make a better Africa as it was his dream. He might have chosen a different path to that direction, but we share the same direction. And time will tell, because we must learn from this man on when, because they say there's a time to sit back and a time to wake up. But in the process of sitting and standing, you should never forget where you're heading. Raila Odinga, as we've said, has several times when he sat down and people thought he made it, but still stood up and he could stand even at this age. And when the young men, my fellow Gen Zs, told him, Baba, stay home, it was never out of disrespect, but out of courage to prove to him that we are still alive here. We want to show you that we inherited the spirit and we have it. And all we want to do is to show you that we can do it. And I want to confirm today that my generation of the Gen Zs are ready to do it. We have proven while we were still alive that we wanted to do it. And we will say it again.
Yes.
That we are ready to do it.
Yeah.
It's never the end of our journey to where we want to make a Kenya to be. It is actually part of the casualties and one of the greatest casualties on our way to where we want to go to.
How will we as a country, how will we take advantage of what we're experiencing right now to reflect, to self-reflect, to have a shared commitment as a country, as a generation, as a people, to look back and say, we will be inspired by the life of Raila Odinga and not to be divided by it. And to say, moving forward, we will not let Baba down. And say we will not be divided by politicians who have their own selfish interests. Will that be possible?
It will be possible.
Will it be done?
It can be done. The question is about when and whether we are ready. But the signs and symptoms are showing we are ready. It's only the time. And I'll show you that because if you look at it very clearly, the greatest gift we can give Raila Odinga is to implement this 2010 constitution to the latter.
Yes.
The greatest gift we can give to him. And the greatest dream that can make Raila be very happy is not only to give us the constitution. In fact, I'll say Raila ended his mission and he achieved it by getting us the constitution.
Oh, man.
He has been
like
struggling only to see the fruits of it.
Yeah.
And he has been guiding us towards its fruit, not towards its destination.
Right.
So Raila has achieved the greatest thing he aspired for. Taking power from central government to devolve the unit. Today, we have governors who must realize that the spirit that Raila had in mind was not to make them governor, but was to bring leadership closer to the people, to ensure that services could be closer to the people. Today, an MCA must realize that in Raila's heart was never to make him an MCA to earn salary, but to make him a representative so that the representation of the people could be closest to the people. Today, the Senate and the entire leadership of this country must realize that the ideals and the spirit of Raila was not to create positions, was to ensure that services that were enshrined in the constitution reach to the people. In fact, let me tell you, Raila promised us more than a Canaan. A country, if you look at chapter 4 of the constitution, where no citizen should live or should go hungry. Tell me that as a right of a citizen. And until we achieve that, that is the Canaan we want. A country whereby every citizen has right to so many things. Where in the constitution in Article 72, I think so, promise us that the role of a state officer is not to rule but to serve until we get servant leadership. That's what Raila wanted for this country. So it is about us to look deep. If you want to know what Raila wanted for the country, to look into that constitutions and find a framework on how we can implement it. It's no matter who will become the president. It's about what do we want for the country.
We're talking about reflection. We're talking about the constitution. But as we mourn Raila Odinga, there are other Kenyans who've been mourning because they lost their family members due to post-election violence. Due to, all this chaos that we've been seeing in the country, especially when it comes to political conversations. The divisive nature of political conversations. Healing as a nation, moving forward, as much as we want to now come together and have a shared commitment and a sense of community, how do we make sure that some of the people who are victimized by politicians are also carried along as we try and gain momentum, as we try and just, reflect on what Raila left behind, some of the ideals, his democratic ideals that he taught us, how do we make sure that everyone is actually carried along, especially the victimized Kenyans?
Let's take this opportunity to shed the last tears of the whole injustices, of all the struggle we've gone through, to remember every bit of the journey, to remember every pain we have endured. Let's take this opportunity to shed not only tears for Raila, but tears for everybody who has gone down the line fighting for this. Let's take this opportunity to not only mourn, but to wake up and stand strong. Let's ensure that all the pain we have in the past is washed away. The one tear that you're going to give for Raila. But after that, let's give a commitment in our heart that we will never have a country anymore, and will never agree and accept any country anymore that will take our loved one. And that we will stand for that justice, irrespective of what it will cost us, and that we will never support anybody that will take us back that line. But forever, we will stand not as Luos, not as ODM members, not as women or young, but as Kenyans who want to achieve the Kenya we want. And that spirit must guide us, must inspire us, must always remind us that we have given enough. It has costed us enough. But that do not make us to stop. We are close. Raila said he has reached the mountain top and he has seen the Canaan, which means even as he's living, he has seen the Canaan, and we must focus to make that Canaan, not as one part of the country, but as all Kenyans. And I wish and ask my fellow citizens that never again shall we be divided in the lines of politics that Raila has taken us away from. Never shall we be divided again in politics of opportunism, politics of tribalism, politics of handouts, politics of hooliganism, and all those types of politics. And let never the so-called dynasties or definitions of your physical or your financial ability define the limit of your dream. Raila dreamed for it up to 80 years. To every young man who is standing out today to dream for any position, never give up.
Pigeon, I want to jump in there. That was very powerful, by the way, bro. You know, it's interesting when I was just reading conversation, especially on X. Some people were talking about how moving forward, we're going to see the president becoming very ruthless, right? He'll be very domineering. Oh, Mara Sijui, guys are going to be forced to join the ruling coalition. When you look at the opposition, especially now because, quote unquote, it's perceived that they don't really have a major unifying figure in it. Do you think our institutions are solid enough, are strong enough to carry forward the democratic ideals that Raila and most Kenyans believe in? Or at some point they're going to be compromised? Honestly speaking.
The institutions have what it takes to get us the Kenya we want. It's about the people who are sitting in those institutions. Whether they have the courage enough, do they have the sacrifice enough to get us the Kenya we want? And therefore, it's about the people who are serving in various institutions to give us what the institutions require of them. Mm-hmm. The structures of institutions in this country are perfect. It's the people in those institutions that must commit to live to the aspirations of the institutions.
That's right.
And I believe it's possible.
Right.
It's possible. Because as I'm telling you, Raila has left us a structure. All it needs is good men and women who can keep the structure.
What about, what do you foresee happening as we head towards the 2027 elections? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of realignments. What's going to be some of the major changes when it comes to the political blueprint of Kenya now that Raila is not there?
One, we must expect that the people from ODM who join the government will not genuinely still be in this government. They'll walk out. That one we must expect.
So we're talking about the likes of, all
of
Badi.
them, Badi and the rest. Because
yes.
You must realize that they join government out of utmost respect for Raila Odinga.
Uh-huh.
Not out of any conviction of William Ruto. And you must know that Raila's followers have always been die hard for justice, irrespective of where they are. And therefore, when Raila showed them, and several times they've come out to say, it's for respect of Raila Odinga. And it's not for legacy of Raila Odinga, it's for respect of Raila Odinga. But that did not stop them or did not make them forget what Raila fights for. And if Ruto wants to maintain those people in his government, he must live to the spirit of what Raila believes in. If he lives to that spirit, there's no problem with the citizens.
Yeah.
But if he lives contrary to that spirit, he should not expect any support from anyone. We don't owe allegiance to him. To those who are supporting his government were because of Raila Odinga. And he must know that if he embodies the spirit of Raila Odinga or what Raila fight for, then he will retain them. If he continues with his ways, he will lose them. And therefore, that is the first thing, that the people who join this government will walk out if this government don't change their way. And the second thing is that there will be a lot of realignment. Now you see the opposition was becoming more hotter to start facing William Ruto. William Ruto will be the political orphan. And he is a master of his own predicaments today. Had he not, because I don't think Raila Odinga joined Ruto to tell Ruto to chase Gachagua. If Raila was after chase somebody, Raila could have told Uhuru Kenyatta to chase William Ruto. But it was out of his own action to chase Gachagua. And that is going to affect him a lot because he has added enemies in his bucket list.
Yeah, so are you saying it will be very, very difficult for the president come 2027?
Even to make it to 2027.
Without Raila?
Even to make it to 2027.
What are you talking about?
Because one thing is, Raila gave him numbers that could support his agenda.
Wow.
That one thing we must know. Raila gave him numbers that could support his agenda. And if those numbers combine with the forces that are outside, those numbers can even impeach William Ruto even tomorrow.
What about the future of ODM?
The future of ODM is in a limbo. But I believe if ODM will give space for the younger generation in the ODM, ODM will live longer.
So but we're talking about the likes of Babu Wino,
take them,
Sifuna, all these young guys.
Don't
let them go.
Do not block them. Give them the mantle. So that they can continue fighting the spirit of that party. But if you block them, that's the end. Because today, even if you look at the average percentage of ODM in terms of age, majority of ODM members are below 50 years. So this is the next generation of leadership. If you allow them, they'll live longer with it. If you block them, that's the end of ODM. It might still be in paper like Kanu is, but it may never be effective. So that is also a high possibility. And to me, I'm saying that anybody who believed or supported or think that Raila Odinga could make them, because they love Raila, because they work with Raila, Baba Mesema, could make them the leaders. This is the time to go back to the drawing board and think again. They will never be elected in the next election if they don't go back to the people.
And, you know, I would assume that Raila surely must have thought about the future of ODM. Succession politics probably happened behind closed doors, maybe amongst the family or even the leadership of ODM. Surely there had to be a plan. They probably foresaw a situation where, you know what, Baba's not going to be here forever, so the leadership of ODM has to have, you know, people who are going to take over. Do you think that conversation was hard?
When they changed the leadership a bit, they brought Akina Wanga. You can call them the younger age a bit. They brought Akina Rati. They brought Akina Sifuna. You see, that age still was actually a plan towards somewhere. And I think the ODM should not focus on who become the next party leader, but rather they should focus on how they build the party.
Okay, let me rephrase. Forget even about ODM. I'm talking about the Luo kingpin.
Oh.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm more straight with that one.
Now, the Luo.
The Luo kingship. Because traditionally, since time immemorial, the Luo people have always had some sort of leadership going on, right? Of course, there's the Council of Elders, Nini, and Raila has been the figurehead of the Luo leadership, right? He's the Ker. What does that mean now moving forward? Maybe you can help us understand.
Yeah, one thing is that...
is it that the Council of Elders, do they actually elect somebody? You know how they say it in Luo? Telok Mingato.
No, but you know, Raila was never mayored Taylor. He was never given the title.
Correct.
He took it.
Yeah.
And even his father muscled himself to be a leader. There was a Chengo Neko there who was senior than him. There were a Tom Boyer there who were a bit preferred, but he actually positioned and strategized himself. And finally, the community followed him. Raila Odinga was never endorsed as the elder of the community. He was never given any endorsement as an kingship of the community. His political practices made people believe in him and followed him as the direction. I don't think there was any day in his early politics that he was conferred to the kingship of Luo. And what people think that the physical conferment of kingship, which I think the Mount Kenya are struggling as well, there will not be any physical conferment of kingship. The spirit of leadership, the juogi of leadership will speak to the people from any direction, because Nyanza is not having any deficiency of leaders. Some of, like myself, the younger generation are there. There's an upper generation above us. There's another older generation there. So we don't lack leadership. but the juogi of that leader will inspire the community to follow them. Yeah. So people should not struggle for a physical ceremony to confer leadership on you. Let the spirit of leadership, and that spirit of leadership always the spirit of justice, fighting for what is right, let it inspire you and the community will follow you automatically. Because I believe, of course, for the first time it's possible that the tello might move from the other side.
So when you say from the other side, you mean from Siaya?
Yeah, from the upper side to the other south side.
Wow.
But if that happens as well, the Nyanza community should still be united the same way it has been united when Tello was on the other side. So irrespective of where you will speak to, let us be united. Because I'm from the south, we have been there and united as one voice without even those south and anything coming in. We have followed that. When the spirit will speak, let us follow that. Let us not judge on any perspectives. Because Raila was there, when Akina Nyong'o were there, when Akina Rengo were there, when other leaders were there, but he still stood up.
Right.
The spirit followed him. And let the spirit follow any of us in the leadership. And I know it will. The Juogi of Luo has never failed. It has always been there.
Yeah.
So let the spirit follow. And let us not have this conversation of campaign, but it is not conferred on an election or a ballot.
Yeah.
So I believe that the Nyanza people still will be united, and they need to be united, but they need to accept any possibility of anywhere where the Juogi will point to. And they must respect that.
What about this conversation of Babu Wino?
No, he's part of what people speak to. And because he has shown some level in his own leadership. Because what attracts people to him is some spirit in him.
Yeah.
And that is the spirit I'm speaking of.
Okay.
So it might not be automatically his spirit. We still had Nyong Orengo who appeared to be the spirit. Remember during Odinga? It was not even thought that Raila could be one.
I agree. It was Orengo.
It was thought to be Orengo.
Yeah.
And you see, it moved out.
Yeah.
So it's also possible that somebody we think might not be the one.
Right.
So, but what we need to say is that let's allow the Juogi to have his space to speak to us.
Yeah.
And I know it will speak. Irrespective of how long it will take, it will speak. But let us also not be divided, because out of all Raila's lifetime, he has taught us to move beyond a person.
Yeah, it's true.
To something.
Maybe that's actually why he didn't name a quote-unquote successor.
Yeah, because you know what now we stand for? Every Luo, anywhere you go to any position, they'll tell you, you see, they know there's something in any Luo in their spirit. Because it's an upbringing. When living in this practice for the last 60 years, you must embody it. So it is in us. And we don't brag about it. It's automatic. And it is in every Luo.
Yeah. Before you continue, somebody in the past there was a white man who came to Kenya, and when he went to Luo Nyanza, he made an interesting observation. He said that Luos are deeply democratic, and so for me, when I think about that statement, I foresee a situation where whoever the spirit will land on, the Juogi, the Luos will embrace him.
Yes. As long as he speaks to that spirit.
As long as he speaks to that spirit.
Simple.
You know, before we wrap up,
yeah,
I'm reminded of when Jaramogi had just passed. And then there must have been some elections after. Was it over? I can't remember. 97, yeah.
The other one.
Yeah. And people started saying, I had a dream. Jaramogi told me that I'm the right one. You know, he sent me to you guys to Do you think we're going to see a lot of stuff like that happening?
We are going to see that. We should expect that.
For real?
We are going to see that.
Oh, Raila Amenituma.
No, he spoke to me.
Raila spoke to me in a dream.
But I think, again, Odium was reaching somewhere, it was almost divided. You remember? When people were thinking Akina Sifono as a talker, Akina Babu as a talker, there was some such conversation. I think, again, these are times where they can be united. When people think that they can be divided,
you know, you're very right.
They can be united.
Yeah, this could actually bring the party together.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
They can be united.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let us also expect that. But above that, let us reflect on the spirit of Raila. It's not for Luos. It is for every Kenyan.
No, you're very right.
So let every Kenyan sit back and really think, what spirit is speaking to me that Raila inspired in me? You see? Because Raila has inspired every citizen on this country. Irrespective of your tribe, irrespective of where you voted before, you must have in one way or the other been inspired by Raila Odinga in your lifetime. And therefore, let's embody his spirit. Let us not judge his ways to the direction. Because alienda kasalamiana, akafanya nini. Let us not judge his ways.
Yeah.
Let us always judge what he fought for. And even at times when it appeared that he had forfeited that, we should not judge that. Because we don't know if he really forfeited that. Because several times he has always been up. And I am sure if he was to be alive, he could have been up again in this 2027.
Oh, you think so, eh?
I'm telling you,
Raila was going to be on the ballot.
he was not even being on the ballot,
Yeah.
but his spirit could still be up.
Okay.
His spirits know when to take a break
Yeah.
and know that that is only a space for break,
Right,
not the
right.
destination.
Yeah.
So he has been always down and up moving.
Yeah.
Down and up moving. He could have been up again to move, irrespective of where. But I think Raila has also been persistent on the ballot because he thinks that the spirit has not embodied somebody that much who is actually ready not to be strong enough on the ballot.
I didn't look at it like that. Interesting.
Yeah, because look at it. Raila has been there because, if I'm not there, who is going to be there? And people have not proven they want to be there. But there's some people like myself, I wanted to prove to him that I can be there.
Exactly.
When you're still alive, I can be there. You see? So it's high time that I know where he's going. He knows that there are people who can be there.
By the way, did you ever have a one-on-one?
No, I didn't have one-on-one with him.
Okay.
I didn't have one-on-one with him. But I know, and some people thought that by being on the ballot with him, I was going against him.
Right.
I wasn't.
Right.
And many people told me that. Oh, unataka kuharibia baba. No, I wasn't. My friend, when the spirit touches on you, you move and you keep moving.
Pigeon, do you think the spirit is on you? Do you feel it?
No, the spirit for what is just.
Yeah.
And that heart to keep fighting. And the courage never to give up and never to look at my conditions has always been in me. And whether that yogi transcended from my grandfather, Badeja Garama, who could complain of Garama in 2002 and actually died during the Mbai burial when he was stepped over by the comrades.
No.
The spirit of that fight has always been in me all along. And that spirit is not transferred, that Raila will give me his spirit. That is spirit that has been in me. It's just a term that can allow me to express that spirit so that people can see it. When you have a light, you have just to allow it to glow and you can see it. So I know what I represent. I know what deep in me, and I've always tried every moment to show what I have. And if opportunities will allow me, I'll continue to show what is in me. And I will not claim that I'm borrowing it from Raila Odinga. It's been in me.
Exactly.
He might have inspired it, but it's been in me.
Absolutely.
I can't say it's equivalent to Raila Odinga, but I know time will tell.
I understand.
And I'm requesting the entire people just to give a room to be sober enough and to make a sober decision. Let us not rush to make decisions.
Pigeon, before I let you go, finally, just as an individual, as a Kenyan, as a man, what are you going to miss the most about Raila?
His courage. Not anything else. His courage. I'm going to miss his courage and his persistence.
Wow, me too, bro.
That's the only thing I'm going to miss.
Me too, man. Personally, bro, like I've been through so much in this world, and, especially ever since I even lost my mom, my sister, Nini. But when I look at Raila, when I look at you too, when I engage with young men and women like us who have that spirit of resilience in us, it gives me so much hope and a reason to keep on fighting, And so for me, that resilience, just like you, is what I'll miss the most about Baba. And I loved his voice and the way he used to speak as well. I'll miss it. I'm going to miss it so much. Thank God for technology, We can always refer. We can always watch all his videos and clips and all these other things.
Don't forget to play his Mountaintop.
Yeah.
This reggae music, it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That one,
the one
Kingston
he likes
Town.
to sing. Yeah, Kingston,
Yeah. Let's remember, and the connection of his Kingston Town.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And me, when I look at that music, as a Pan-African space, I'm connecting the continent and out.
Yeah.
They say that Europeans messed up to tell us that Jamaica is not part of Africa because it's the true reflection of Africa. You see? So it is a connection that transcends beyond us. And that's the leader I want to be and I've always aspired to be. I've transcended beyond the border of Kenya to something bigger for Pan-Africans and to build that Pan-African we want. And I will tell you, let's never forget to play that song.
Yeah.
And always, let's reflect on the lyrics of that song.
I'm going to get that song, by the way. I'm sorry, guys, I don't have it on this playlist, but I'll definitely get it. And until Baba, because Baba will forever be with us, but at least until the day he gets buried, I'll always play it. Pigeon, thanks, man.
No, I
Thank you.
appreciate.
I was really thinking, oh my God, who am I going to speak with? I don't think I could do this show alone this evening. right? But you are the perfect person to have a conversation about the, the ideals and the spirit of Raila Odinga, because I see it in you and I see it in many younger Kenyans as well. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
I do appreciate, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to actually give my piece of condolences to Raila Odinga and have a reflection with our citizens. And I think, as I've said, let's look at his achievements.
Correct.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Nashukuru.
It's 4 minutes to the top of the hour. Africa must wake up. Nas, Damian Marley, and Kanan. I think that's a good enough one as well. In the next hour, still conversations about Raila Odinga. Joey. Just like even Pigeon has said it over here. And I know a lot of you are wondering, by the way, what does Joey really mean? I'll tell you. And also, we're going to reflect on some of the many quotes. I have compiled over 15 famous quotes by Raila Odinga that you don't want to miss out on. We'll talk about them in the next hour. Let's keep it moving. Good evening.
Sugar and spice and everything nice.